Sayulita Wellness, home of your inner peace.
Hello, this is Kaylee. I'm back with another wonderful alumni interview with this beautiful couple, Aaron and Julie. Welcome. They're calling in all the way from New Zealand. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing
Good. Yeah.
amazing. Well, thank you. I'm so glad we could coordinate our different time zones for this special call. So, Aaron and Julie just got back from a wonderful couples retreat. So, we're going to find out today a little bit more about their experience. So, I would love to kind of start out with asking both of you, why did you guys come to this retreat?
You
Oh,
start.
that was so cute.
Aaron had sort of been interested in psilocybin for some time. A friend of his suffers from early onset Parkinson's, and he found that microdosing was helping him a lot. So I've got a little bit of a history of anxiety and depression. So we tried that, which was really good, and then decided a little bit foolishly to do a bit more of a heroic dose without any guidance or instructions, and
Just a bigger dose.
just a bigger dose, not a big one. But anyway, what I discovered from that, it was useful, but I said to Aaron afterwards that I felt like I needed guidance through that process to get you stuck out of certain things, or if things weren't working the way you wanted, or you needed to go to the toilet, or you needed some refreshment. So that's what led us to start researching, is there such a place that is reputable, that provides that kind of service? And that's when we came across the retreat.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I think that's quite a common story. People who come to retreat, some of them are totally new to all psychedelics or plant medicine, but some have had like maybe one experience in college or socially, or they've tried at home. And it is hard to kind of process emotionally and feel safe enough when your mind is also worried about, safety and things like that. And we all deserve that kind of support. And I think these places are quite special, which is why we're trying to spread the word about it. So I'm so glad that you both found us. And Aaron, do you have anything else to add about that for yourself?
Yeah, so pretty much that. I had positive experiences in the past, and it sort of showed me, I guess, the potential to use it more. And yeah, we just sort of started looking for a way to do it in a more guided way, and yeah, we came across a couple of sites that were advertising they did it, and yours just really stood out. It seemed like the whole package that all the other activities that you had organised to do it, just seemed that it would get you in the right frame of mind, and yeah, give us everything we needed.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah. So how did you feel like the first kind of day and a half before the ceremony? How did you feel like that helped prepare you for the psychedelic experience?
Oh, I think it was fantastic. Like, even clean eating, like, we sort of ate vegetarian, pescatarian, and I've carried that on since I've come back through our holiday, because we had another week in Mexico, and we've now started eating a lot more vegetables. I think we had red meat maybe once, and that's because we had guests. So that was really good with, like helping you feel clean and not bogged down. I really enjoyed the hypnotherapy. I've done a little bit of hypnotherapy before. So I really feel like I benefited from that and was able to really dig quite deep with that particular hypnotherapy. So that was fantastic. And I think, like everything, it just sets you up to, like, focus and be on what you're looking for, explore what you're looking for, ask questions. So yeah, those activities and the yoga, all of that sort of stuff was extremely helpful, I think, to get you into taking the medicine.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think that first day and a half is so critical. One, to help you feel safe, opening up and trusting the team, but also just to, really balancing you mind, body, soul, so that you feel like kind of healthier, the sound healing to kind of clean out those other energies that might kind of be stuck in you and things like that. So it's beautifully said. And then what did each of you gain experience? Let's start with individually from the plant medicine experience, and then after I'll ask you about as a couple what you experienced.
I suppose I have to go first.
Yeah, you
okay.
can go first.
So,
Ladies first.
Yeah.
my intentions were for calmness and peaceness. I've got a very busy mind that keeps me awake a lot, and the rumination has been going on for years. But I also asked for it to be gentle. And when I talked to the psychologist beforehand, that was really helpful as well, about setting out what I wanted and to ask the medicine what I wanted, and which I actually did. I said to, when I, after I'd taken the medicine, please be gentle and relaxing with me. And that's exactly what I got. And even when I was like, okay, no, I'm ready to move on. It just kept happening very gently. It's such a beautiful experience. The things that came up surprised me. I thought different things would come up. But it was so beautiful, and the lady that looked after me was just divine. She was just so gentle and so kind, and yeah, helped me. Everybody was great. Alejandro, her calming voice, I'll never forget that in my life. She was incredible. Yeah, so I think I got what I wanted definitely out of the retreat. I have certainly, and Aaron has certainly noticed a change in me. I do have this more calmness, and my brain doesn't go to, "Roar," all the time, or not much at all. And if it does, one of the things I was, just let it flow, let it go, and it doesn't have to mean anything, which has been really helpful in sort of my after experience in the last, because it's been about 3.5 weeks since the ceremony, and yeah, so it was incredible.
Beautiful. Thank you, Julia. Those are some pretty profound changes, right? To go from like a overly active racing mind to having that
Yeah.
calm and understanding and that perspective to be able to be like, oh, I can witness this feeling, but I don't have to react to it. Like that's a very big change. And I would say those are changes both to the, to your neural pathways, but also to your nervous system where you feel more safety. So you don't have to go into that fight or flight mode as quickly. And I'm so glad to hear that the team took such good care of you. I truly feel like our team, like each person was sort of like put on earth to do the job that they're doing at the center.
They are. They're just amazing, and they are so calm. And that's the other thing. Like, you never know what to expect when you go to these things. Is it all going to be hyped up and commercial? It was just so relaxing, and you just felt so at home. And yeah, so I think that is a big part of it as well. Yeah, and the energy from the people. Yeah, very calming and relaxing.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Aaron, feel free to share anything about your experience that you want.
Yeah, just like that whole calming experience and the events that are done leading up to it. That was great, like traveling almost halfway across the world to get there, and you're sort of wondering how are we going to cope when you get off the plane and everything. But yeah, the first few days just set the scene for everything. It was just such a beautiful place to be. The food was amazing. Everything was sort of set up to get you in the relaxed state of mind that you needed to be. So yeah, so when the ceremony came around, my intention probably sounded a bit broad and fluffy, I suppose, but beneath that I had 5 or 6 questions I was looking for answers to, or things that I wanted to sort of understand about myself. And yeah, I managed to tick off all of those things, answered all of those questions. Of course, it always opens up a few more questions that you have to deal with next time, but yeah, it was great experience. Got what I was hoping to get out of it, and yeah, it was just so good from start to finish.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. And I just think every single person who comes to this retreat is so brave, because it's not always easy, right, to look at those parts of yourself that are sort of harder to face, or things maybe in the past. But when you feel that love and support, and you feel like you can actually go to those places and see them and understand yourself better and love yourself better, instead of, kind of trying to hide those parts of yourself that are maybe a little difficult to understand. So I always just feel like so in awe of each person who chooses to come to the retreat, because you're doing this kind of brave, sometimes difficult work, but on the other side is a greater sense of understanding of yourself, a deepening sense of love for yourself and for your partner. So you receive all those gifts back, but it's not always easy. Yeah. Awesome. And then as a couple, like, how did the retreat help improve, communication or sense of connection with each other?
Well, we weren't actually on as a couple retreat. We just went as a couple. We have a very good relationship ourselves, but it was so good having your loved one there with you, so that you could talk through your experiences, once they came around. And yeah, so our communication's always been quite good. So, but we were very lucky, and we had the sea view room with the day bed, so we felt very spoiled. And yeah, that certainly enhanced the experience as well. But yeah, we talk openly, but we probably talk more openly now. Yeah.
And after the ceremony, when because we were in separate rooms, and then we got to go back, and like we just had so much to. We were a little bit quiet to start with, just reflecting on everything. But then as we sort of, as the night went on a bit, we had a good talk about all sorts of things, and it was good to share that with someone.
Yeah.
It's when you go through something so profound, and it's hard to explain to someone who hasn't been through it. But then when your like closest loved one goes through it at the same time, like I feel like it just makes you even closer. You feel even more connected, because you're opening new parts of yourself. They're opening up new parts of themselves. So it's like you get to experience new things in your partner, even though you've been together like, however many years. So that's really cool that you guys did it in those, separate spaces, and then got to come together. So I've done the couples retreat with my husband, and we actually were in the same room, but we were very much in our own experience. Like, we didn't like really talk throughout the ceremony until the end, but we had this moment of telepathic connection, and that was really beautiful. But it was also so cool to just have our own journey and like really respect each other's space. And I think that's so healthy, to prioritize your own journey. So that's wonderful. And then what was your favorite part of the retreat? Like the best part for each of you?
Hard to pick a really.
It's hard
the
to
best
pick.
part. Like it's equally hard to pick the high point as it is the low point. It was just all just right up there.
Yeah. Oh, probably we were also very spoiled after the ceremony. We sometimes you don't feel like mixing with other people. We were sort of talking, so they brought our meal down to us. So that was just that extra level of care. And that's what you get. You get that extra level of care. They're so intuitive to your needs, and care about you and what's happening for you and what you need. So I'd say the people that work there are what it is. The best.
And just kind of the little attention to detail things, like everything was perfect, but like when the ceremony was going on, and you had your soundtrack playing in the background, which was fantastic, and then I kept thinking I could hear, like, there was a little guitar being played in the room with me, and I thought, I think that's happening. I'm pretty sure it's happening, but wasn't entirely sure. And then the next day I checked with Javier, who was in the room with me, and he said, I kept just playing a little tune on the guitar, and it was just those little things at the time which really stood out.
Javier is such a special person. They're all so special, but he's just such loving energy. And that's so nice that you got to have a little live music accompanying your and he probably knew you would appreciate it. That's what I feel with the team. They know your needs sort of like
Mm.
before you even know what you need yourself. So
Yeah.
I remember at the end of my ceremony, they brought me like, I didn't feel like going out either. I was kind of like just in my Zen mode, and they brought me like they had like vegan mushroom pizza and a chocolate brownie in bed. And I was just like, this is the best thing ever. It's
Yeah.
yeah, the food is so amazing at the retreat. So they definitely nourish you, body, mind, and soul. That's
Because we were over there for nearly 3 weeks, and
Mm.
I mean, we had some amazing food during our travels, but that was probably the best food
Mm.
we had was at the resort.
And
It
I'm
was
trying to
just
recreate it
so
at
good.
home now. Yeah, so
I
we
know.
have changed our diet quite significantly since that trip. Just feel so much better eating whole foods and yeah,
Yeah, lots
so
of seafood.
lots of seafood now. Yeah, so that's certainly really good for us as well.
Well, I'm
And Nirvana was amazing. Like when she came around during the ceremony, and she just knew instinctively what you needed. She did some breath work with me, which I'm really looking forward to looking more into how that works and how that can calm you in itself, or those sorts of things. So that's something I'll be following up on as well.
beautiful. That's
A lot
so
of those, yeah, a lot of those activities. I had never done yoga before, never wanted to, and there was other. Like the hypnosis, I'd done that before. The sound therapy I hadn't done, but found that amazing. And you just sort of need to go along and say, okay, I'm just going to do everything. There's a reason why they've included it, and if you think you're going to feel a bit silly or whatever, just get in and do it, because it's all contributes to the experience and is necessary.
yeah, and you'll feel, I think certain people, like you said, Julie, you maybe feel drawn to explore the breath work. Maybe Aaron's like, oh, I kind of like yoga, or maybe that sound healing thing I want to do again, and it's things
I
you
don't think I'll be doing the yoga again, but the sound
the
therapy
sound healing.
I found
Yeah,
really good.
that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, there's things that you don't know about yourself until you're open to the experience. So it sounds like you guys had a very open mind and perspective, and you fully embrace the whole experience. So I definitely, that comes from you. You know what I mean? It's like the team can do their best, but you also have to have an open heart and open mind to really absorb the whole experience. So, and then what would you say to other couples who are on the fence about doing this retreat? Like, what would you kind of say to them?
Oh, we're probably a little bit evangelistic now. Like even after the ceremony, we were discussing these people should do this. These people should do this. We're reasonably open with our close friends that we do microdose, and the benefits of that. So, and our close friends knew what we were doing and going over, and those sorts of things. So they were really interested to see our experience, and we'll hopefully definitely be going back and taking some more people with us, just to,
That's beautiful. Yeah.
nothing to lose.
I think when you experience something so life-changing, it's like, I feel the same. I'm like, I just want everyone I love to
Oh yeah.
experience the whole world. Like it'd be a much better world. We'd all be a lot more loving.
Yeah.
Open. Yeah, that's so cute. Well, we're excited to welcome you back and meet your friends and have the more New Zealanders come over, more Kiwis come over.
I think I understand there was some New Zealanders from in the previous retreat to us.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Brian told us that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we have
so it's reaching all around the world.
Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
incredible.
Yeah, we had a guest come, and then her husband's coming actually to the early December one because they have kids, so they just each went at a different time. So it's actually really cool. We really do have guests from all over the world, which is awesome. And speaking of, you traveled halfway across the world. How was the travel? Was it worth it? It is quite a far distance.
We love Mexico. Anyway, we were
Oh,
there last 2017.
Yeah,
2017. So we incorporated a holiday as well. So that was kind of nice. But the travel is just the travel. I mean, anywhere from New Zealand, you've got to travel. But we broke it up. We flew to Vancouver, which is a 13-hour flight, and then stayed there the night, and then flew to Puerto Vallarta and had one night there before we came to the retreat. So we felt reasonably refreshed when we got there. We'd had good sleeps on the plane. Yeah, I mean, traveling's travelling. At least you can relax.
It's well worth it. It's a big time commitment, big financial commitment, but you know, you've got a good chance to improve your life and get the best out of it. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, the next question is going to be, what was it worth the price? You know, it is an investment, so it sounds like it was worth it to you.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
Yeah. It absolutely was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an investment in yourself and your relationship, because the healthier you are for yourself, the better you are for your partner, for all of your friends and loved ones. So it definitely sends the ripples out to your community. Like the more each of us heal, the more everyone else around us can heal, and the more we can help, you know, be someone for them to talk to and everything. So that's awesome.
The only mistake was not doing it earlier.
Yeah.
That was, you literally read my mind. You know the questions I was going to say. What kept you from doing it? What kept you from doing it earlier?
COVID a little bit, and
lack of awareness.
lack of awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we booked it a year before we actually went, because we had to tie it in with work and travel and commitments that we had here. So we actually made the decision 12 months and booked it 12 months before the actual date, which was also quite good, because did a lot more research. I did a lot more research on it. Aaron sort of knew a lot. So yeah, wish I'd done it sooner, but we didn't. But we have now, so that's the main thing.
I remember the day your booking came through, and I was like, this is amazing. They're booking all the way out for this. And I kept like, it was kind of like I measured a year in the time of like, when is their retreat? And I would like kind of look ahead. Oh, they're almost coming. So that's so wonderful. The time probably passed somewhat quickly, but I'm glad you finally made it. Wonderful. And then what helped, you know, I know that you did a lot of research, both of you, and that you'd actually also tried the mushrooms on your own. What made you choose this retreat over other options out there?
You did that.
Yeah, I guess it was looking at I wanted something that sort of balanced the holistic side of it, you know, the yoga, the meditation, that sort of thing. But yours also seemed to have a good bit of a scientific approach. I'm probably not using the right word, but it seemed to have a good mix. It wasn't just going out into the jungle and lying around on a dirt floor and having a ceremony. It was you know, there was the health checks, there was all those things, the healthy eating, all those things that you put into it together, that it just seemed a much more complete, well thought out, well planned, well run experience than some of the other ones that were being offered. Yeah. And that's what we found when we got there too. It was definitely the right choice for us.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think I really say to each person when they're asking about the retreat, I'm like, each person's an expert in what they do for the retreat. So, you know, the chef is, you know, of course, an expert there. The Nirvana and Alejandra, the shamans, like they are experts there. Like hypnotherapist, she's so talented. Each person is so good at what they do.
So talented. Like,
truly.
I think that was one of the best hypnotherapy sessions I've ever had. It was so good. And she has sent us another one for us to have. So that was so generous of her as well, so that we can sort of revisit that. But yeah, I found her to be incredible.
Yeah. Like each person's world class at what they do. And I also really love that we balance kind of the scientific approach, like the psilocybin experiences in that Johns Hopkins University style, where you are encouraged to go inward. You have the silk eye mask, you're lying down, the music, like it's all very intentional, you know, so that you're not distracted, or, you know, this isn't mushrooms for partying, this is mushrooms for healing and connection. So I love that we have, of course, the shaman comes from this long tradition of indigenous wisdom keepers, but then of course we have the, you know, nurse there and, you know, doctor on call and stuff. So it's balanced, you know, and I think it helps people feel comfortable. Like you want to be comfortable when you're already doing something out of your comfort zone, you know, you're already doing something different. So why not be as comfortable as you can while you do it and feel loved along the way?
Yeah, the mix of tradition and science and everything else, it was just felt it was right.
And the soundtrack was just incredible. Like, I really don't have any words for that. It was just
took you on the journey,
took you on
gave
the
you what you needed when you needed it.
Was so clever and so beautiful, and yeah, really helped with the medicine, I think.
I
All the
fully,
components.
yeah, you really feel like the universe is singing to you, like specifically to you.
Or
And
playing a guitar too.
I'll tell the two of you, like when sometimes I'll do, I'll listen to it and I hear songs I've never heard before still when I listen to it and I'm like, this is what I needed today. Like it's some kind of magic with that playlist where it just knows how to play you what you need. So that's great.
And we've been playing it since we got back as well.
Going, oh, I remember
I
that.
remember that,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was happening at the
Yeah,
time and what you
yeah.
were feeling. And
It definitely activates the feeling of the mushrooms, that's for sure. Um, okay, so final like question or two. What you've shared so much of what you've taken away already, how you're eating more healthfully, you're open to some of these alternative therapies now, like the sound healing and everything. So you've learned so much wisdom. But what else are you taking away from this retreat, would you say?
oh,
Gosh,
it's
it's hard.
It is a hard one.
It's hard, and it's probably very personal. But for me, it's for me, I feel good enough for probably the first time in my life. And that's pretty profound, really. Yeah, so that's a great point for anyone to start to continue on with the work that we want to continue doing. I'm 54 as of last week, so
Happy birthday.
yeah. So I've tried lots of different traditional type medications and things, and whilst they've been helpful to a degree, and counselling and all sorts of things like that, I don't think I've ever felt this good within myself. So that's what I am taking away and loving it.
So beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I still don't have a really good answer for you on that.
We'll keep asking. Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like I really like the way that it lets you have a good hard look at yourself, criticize yourself, but in a good way where you get to sort out your messy stuff and improve yourself, and you come out of it, yeah, with a lot of answers. Also, like I said, more questions to things to look at next time. So you're sort of going, oh, yeah, excited for the next time, so we can get to work again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process, and it's a very good process.
Beautiful.
Does that answer it properly?
I think that it's like, yeah, we're always evolving and shifting, and to embrace and that part of the journey. We're always perfect right on the inside, but we're always going to grow, and there's always greater perfection and ways to improve ourselves. And I think the more that you embrace that and love yourself the way you are now and love the future versions of yourself, the more fun you can have along the way, and not be hard on yourself about it. So I think that's so healthy. And Aaron, I just want to commend you as a man for talking about those things, because I feel like not too many men are able to share those things. So I really appreciate that. And you guys are truly a very beautiful couple, and we're so lucky that you chose our center and that our team got to meet you, and they just said the best things about you. So we'll look forward to welcoming you back in the future, meeting some of your friends, and Julie, I'm so happy that you feel finally that you're enough, because I'm sure everyone else sees you as more than enough, but it's until you feel that, it's a shift in consciousness. It's hard to have on your own, I would say, even with years of therapy or whatever you've tried in the past. It is hard to feel that. So this medicine is very, very helpful.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it. Like, you get the feedback from people, and I do. You're wonderful. And it's like, oh, well, you don't really know me. But to actually feel it from within is completely different to being told it. That to me has been really, really good. And the psychologist, she said something to me along the lines of, meet the darkness with light, and that stuck with me. So when things come up, I sort of change my perspective and bring light to it, rather than you know, the bad thoughts and the rumination. So that, you know, that tool in itself is, you know, something that I'll continue to use.
Yeah, if we can't beat ourselves up for those things, the more we can
Yeah.
in, love them, be willing to see them, like the more we can evolve and embrace it. You know, oftentimes it's just energy that wants to be loved, you know, and it's expressing itself in a maybe not so ideal way. So
Yeah.
amazing. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time. And I know you're at the beginning of your day as we're ending up our day, but really you are such a beautiful couple and beautiful individuals. And we can't wait to see how you continue to evolve and grow over the next few years. And thank
We're
you.
just off to the organic market now. I tell you, we changed people.
I hope you cook something absolutely delicious. And I've told
I will, don't worry.
I told our chef, I'm like, I'd really love for us to have a cookbook that our guests can go away with because the recipes are so special. It really is such good. Yeah.
All the different sauces and things were incredible, weren't they? And we must recreate the goat cheese ball.
So many good things.
So many good things. And the horse riding, that was good.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to ride the horse down the beach the next day, smell the salty air and just, you know, be connected. It's funny, I've never really thought much of, you know, Mother Nature, but now that's like, it's huge for me.
And to feel connected with animals too, and to feel how we're all kind of this oneness energy, to feel that it's very empowering. A lot of people have never ridden a horse before, maybe as a kid, but to kind of do it as an adult, it gets you out of your comfort zone. But then by the time you do the mushroom ceremony, you're open enough to a new experience that you embrace it. Yeah. Amazing. Well, have the most beautiful day. Thank you again so much. I really appreciate you taking the time.